Hey everybody, how's
John,
it going?
doing good. How are you doing?
Doing excellent. Doing excellent. Beautiful Sunday morning here where I'm at.
Yeah,
How's
yeah.
it where you're
It's,
at?
pretty good, pretty good. Good Sunday. Good Sunday here. The 18th. We're here for our weekend update again.
Yep, that's right.
Good to be with the community. Good to be here to get everybody the information that they're seeking. So, you ready to get started?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got some good updates this week, so real excited to get started. So why don't we go ahead and start talking about one of the things that I think the community has been waiting for the last, at least since we announced it. I think we announced it a couple of weeks ago, but we have the official announcement from Polygon is ready to go. We're waiting on a few final details to tie it off. That's pretty exciting, huh, Michael? I see you nodding over there.
Yep. Yep. Hey, if people know Polygon-matic, they know that it's a big deal.
Yeah, and so I just want to. One of the things we want to just preface everything that we say here, and I was talking with the core team yesterday about everything. It's a lot of these other tokens. What they do is they just try to have announcement after announcement after announcement ready because they're really just announcements. There really isn't anything per se happening. They just have to keep on getting news out there, as Donald Trump would say, bordering on the lines of fake news, right? And so we're not about that here. We're about bringing real news, and in business it just takes time to get real news out the door. And so we're real proud to announce or to make this announcement. So we'll be having an official statement coming out. And again, whenever we do official statements, the publications that we utilize require verification of those official statements. They don't just let anybody say anything about anybody they want, So we've got those official procedures happening in place. They've been happening since midweek last week. And we're right at the end of those items being ticked off in the proper order and making that a reality for everybody. So official announcement from Polygon is going to be rolling out. Again, not a specific day and timeline on that, but we do have the Polygon team is very excited. I think that the announcement will make that clear that they're extremely excited about us joining their ecosystem and being part of their ecosystem. So I know you feel good about that, Michael, as somebody who's working on the operational side of BSOCIAL. What the opportunities that affords us going into the Polygon-matic and just my Polygon-matic ecosystem. Another big update from our core team that I'd like to announce right now. We've had a lot of questions popping up, and we'll get into those a little bit later. But we have been reworking our organizational structure. And if you can see, for example, Michael, when he starts talking here in a minute, you'll notice that he's got a title and a role. And so we've actually been able to formalize over 12 different people onto our team. They're all working on the project daily. It's amazing, actually. And things behind the scenes are flowing better than they've been flowing since we've started the project. So it's very exciting. And I know, Michael, we've talked a lot in the past few days about the new processes and the new procedures. I'm a big believer that product and businesses and organizations are built around processes, repeatable processes. And I know, Michael, you've been focused on that as one of our operational leaders. And it's really exciting to see those processes start to get formalized and cemented into place more than anything. And so the team, while I don't think we're where we want to be with the team being at 12 people, we're definitely in a place where we have very, very strong people in those initial positions, which gives us a great framework and a great foundation to build from and improve upon. So extremely excited about that. We've been working on a organizational structure that we can present to the community that just allows everybody to see how big we have become, and the people that are in those roles. And I think from a perspective of who they are or what they do, we can just briefly outline that. Michael, Director of Operations, operational role, going to be, you guys know Michael very well. He's very ingrained into daily what we do in several aspects of the organization and the operation. So, very excited about that. We've also got several positions that we filled across the media management side: creative director, media manager, as well as, publication, director of publications. We have an international business director. We've got a strategy director. We've got, just several positions, key positions that have been filled, along with the small teams underneath them, the small strategic teams underneath them, to make these projects and these things that we're working on happen more consistently and more efficiently. Right, Michael?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's streamlining kind of the processes, as well as getting the people to have their defined roles. And like you said, exactly, Director of Operations, for me, that's a role that I take very seriously, and keeping our projects on track, as well as, looking forward to specifically the strategy, the strategy that this project utilizes, that forward thinking, that forward looking strategy is going to be very, very effective, I think, as we go forward.
Yeah, and I think that it has been very effective. Again, coming back to the, just not comparing ourselves to other projects out there, but if we look at the type of movement we're making behind the scenes, real news, real process, real progress. It's I think a lot of people on the team, even though we can't come out and say exactly what we're working on, there's a little bit of frustration that we share, right, Michael? Because we're doing all this stuff and we get all this FUD from the community, and we don't blame them, because we can't tell them everything that we're working on. We just can't do it. We're bound by confidentiality agreements. And I know that even the core team can't tell our strategy teams, our directors, sometimes what we have working on. And it's a bit frustrating, I think, both for the community and frankly for me. I would love to tell, everybody everything that we're working on, but we just, there are certain instances where we just can't do that. And we have to respect the documents we have in place and the obligations we have in place to the people that we're conducting transactions with. And then that's the most important thing, and building real solid development is the most important thing. So
absolutely.
Yeah. So that's great on that front. I think everybody's going to be real excited once they start seeing that information come out, not just the fruits of the labor, but just to know that there's a real team. Not like some of these other coins where you have, you've got two guys that you don't even know who they are. They've got a name that you don't even know what the name is, but to know that there's a real team back behind this thing that's working, I think it's very exciting. So absolutely, we're really excited about that. Yep. That brings us to a wallet update. So the wallet is currently, we've been in a internal testing situation, and the wallet signups will be released on Wednesday. So the way we're going to do the wallet signups is we're going to initially release them to the Telegram chat and let our community, our core community, have first dibs on signing up for alpha wallet testing. And then once we have, once we give the community a couple days to get in there and sign up, then we'll open it up to the community at large, our social communities at large. Right, Michael? I think that's what we've been discussing from operational standpoint. Yeah. So again, wallet signups, alpha wallet signups will happen on Wednesday. We're still formalizing the information that we're going to need from people, but you will need to dox yourself. We want that to be clear. There will be no, nobody can sign up and use the app. We're not saying going forward forever, but for the alpha testing, we will want to know who, what, because again, we need to know when we see a bug and somebody reports a bug. And we're releasing this out there. We're releasing confidential. So people will have to sign confidentiality agreements that they will not release information behind the scenes of what we're doing. So, you know, everything we're doing going forward, and frankly, everything we've been doing for the past, you know, has always been with a business approach first. You know, how do we make sure, and, you know, you can't always cover all bases, but we do want to make a best effort to cover as many bases as we can. So NDA around the wallet, doxing around the wallet is going to be mandatory for alpha and beta testers. Okay. And again, those start on Wednesday. So aside from that, we've got a few other strategy and operational upgrades that we're making. Michael, you want to go ahead and tell them about the new educational series that we're launching this week?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the biggest things that we talked about from the very beginning, I remember talking to you, John, about this, is that, you know, the crypto space is somewhat of an enigma to a lot of people, and they don't really get it.
That's a great word, Michael.
They kind of get it. They're like, it has something to do with money. It's kind of like the stock market.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's like, a great way to describe it.
There's a lot of stuff out there that people just don't understand. And one of the biggest things that having you and a few of the other people that are on the team having such a vast experience and knowledge in it is that you have the ability to impart that knowledge to people and teach people about the space. And that's where the kind of during the week stuff is going to be going. As we're working on the project, that's going to continue. That is not stopping. Just people understand we're not just like switching over to educational. The project is going to continue, but we want to inform our community and our potential investors and holders of just what it is that they're doing in this space, what some of these things mean. When they hear a phrase, they're like, I don't know what that is. And they can, you know, they can Google and, you know, look at like the Coinbase glossary or whatnot. But, you know, to get a real solid explanation of like maybe how something works, like staking, for instance, like someone could ask, be like, well, you can go Google it, or, you know, somebody who's been around for a long time can explain exactly what it is and things like that. So just little educational tidbits and topics to teach people more about the space, more about how it works, and just what it is that we're all doing in this kind of, you know, amazing space that is going to be the future of finance and the world, you know,
monetary policy. Yeah, I think it's going to be
exactly.
a central point in monetary policy going forward. And just to kind of give a slightly more in-depth look at how we're going to be doing this. So our first probably 4 or 5 series, Michael, I know you've looked at them. They're geared more towards a ramp up of understanding. So, you know, the first 4 or 5 series that we do will be very simple topics, getting people up to speed on the core concepts of what crypto is, where to find information, what the different types of information is that's out there, and then starting to get into some of the more in-depth aspects and you know, even thought processes that you have to think through a little bit more, like staking, right? You brought up a great one there. That's one that, you know, I think also liquidity pools, people don't understand a lot on how liquidity pools work. And so there's going to be a major focus on ramping people up, creating an educational series that is full of, you know, 5 to 7 minute videos that break each topic down to a very, very small, you know, finite point, and then expand upon that point so that people can fully understand what that point is about. And then taking that and creating a series of videos that allow you to understand, you know, create this level of understanding from a very simple to a very complex understanding. And we think that's very important. Like you said, the whole crypto space right now, I feel like the majority of the people in it, it's an enigma to them. Like you said, that's a great word to use. And they're not really sure what they're dealing with. And the more education we have, the more people understand that not only is our community full of people who understand tokens, so the more people understand, the less likely they are to make mistakes, and the less likely they are to do things that would hurt the community at large, whether that's known or unknown. And the more people we have in our community that are up to speed on the latest crypto happenings and understand it from a core philosophy and a core principle perspective, it's just much better for our community. So
absolutely, and it'll keep the community safe as well. In addition to regular educational topics, it'll be things about how some scams are perpetrated against people, how to avoid those kinds of things. If it's fishy, if it walks like a duck, it probably is a duck. So don't always trust if it's too good to be true, probably is, kind of things. And just how to really identify those things as well. And so the educational, I believe you guys were talking about it, it's going to be tending to be on Tuesdays and Thursdays, correct?
That's exactly right. Yep. Tuesdays, Thursdays, 5 to 7 minutes. We'll make the announcement beforehand, probably the day before, with the topic, with the time. There'll be live videos. We don't expect a lot of people to show up to them because they're so short, but they will be live videos, and they will have a standard process that we follow. They'll be uploaded, and then they'll be treated as educational content after that we can build a library.
So it'll be basically done like this, correctly, in our broadcast here on Twitch and YouTube. And then I've already created our education playlist in YouTube. So they'll be stored under the playlist, education playlist in YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think everything for the educational series is coming together really nicely. I think it's going to be a very, very good project, a very powerful project for us. Get us out there, let the community and the crypto community at large know that there's people here that understand what's going on and want to teach the world about crypto, because that's what we're here for. We're here to improve the understanding and the outlook that people have on crypto, not just Ponzi. I talk about that all the time, not just a Ponzi scheme mentality. So very excited about this. Very, very excited about this. And, I think that leads us into another project that we've been working on, Michael, that you can touch on for, being able to solidify the process of having third parties present our brand image, or even partners present our brand image in a way that we want them to present it.
Exactly. And that's going to be a media kit, essentially, that's going to have a outline of things that the public, our community, are free to go and promote with. That'll be a series of a couple of little graphics that we have vetted for approval. That is like, here you go. This is our official stuff that we want you to be able to use freely, as well as just general kind of text, general copy that people can put out there, so that they're not trying to figure out what to say about us. That may or may not,
or how to make it look right, or how to make it look,
how to make it look, how to make it the right way that we want to be portrayed by the community. It's these projects are community, essentially community run somewhat, but it really is the community that gets us out there to help spread the word and make the project a success. Because without our community, the project's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, and let's just tell the community why we did that. So the reason why we made this a priority focus is because we had a community member came to us and said, hey, I want to put up a billboard. And we said, great, let's get it going. And we needed something that we quickly realized that while we have all the graphics readily available, while we have all the ways that people need to utilize the brand readily available, we've got that documented. We could improve and provide greater visibility and access to that, right? In a way that worked in a much different way than how we're working now. So the real drive behind making this a priority was several people from the community coming up. And I think we've also seen that there have been people in the past creating graphics, creating images, creating videos, and with a proper media press kit, we can be more nimble and provide more accessibility to those creative assets and to those creative guidelines, brand guidelines that help the community at large bring more content to the forefront.
Absolutely. Exactly. Our internal group has what's called a style guide for anybody that's familiar with those kinds of documents for large businesses that essentially, you know, they determine the colors, the fonts, the things like that, so that your branding is essentially all on the same page. And we just want to make sure that the community has not necessarily access to our style guide, but access to the information that can help them to promote it on their own. Yep. So that way they don't have to wait for our team to get back to them on something. They know that if this is out there in this format, that you're free to use it. You're free to go ahead and put it out there and help.
Exactly. And that's it. We've had a great our community has been great so far, creating images, graphics, videos. I mean, great stuff. And if there's a little bit more consistency we can provide and access, again, I think those are you know, some of the key pillars we're focusing on with this this initiative of building that media package and brand guideline. So very excited about that. I think that you know, we specifically know that the person who was working on this billboard really loved what we delivered him. So I think that it made it a lot easier for him to do what he needs to do. So very, very good project for us to be working on right now. So very excited about that. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So I think that's the end of our major announcements for the week. Some very, very good announcements. There are some very, very good announcements that we just can't make right now. But, you know, we'll continue. As you guys know, we continue cranking through this stuff, and we continue bringing you guys what we can, when we can, and real news, real actual deliverables that we love bringing to you guys. So let's jump into our Q&A. We've got a few questions here, Michael.
Yep. One of the questions actually was already kind of gone over, and there's people that were asking about the team and what does the team look like, and how is it created, and we just went over that. Obviously,
I'll go through that a little bit more,
okay.
Because we have a little bit of we have somewhat of a breakdown of, you know, the roles. I can pull them up here real quick. So, you know, we've got, you guys already know that we've got our C-level team, CTO, CMO. Again, we brought on an international, and I'm just reading here from this. So brought on our international person for international outreach and business development. We've brought on a strategy and business development, essentially a sales type of role that's going out there, creating partnerships, you know, focusing on how we bring Bank Social to as many third-party business-to-business partnerships as possible. We've got our education. So we're going to have somebody who's going to be director over education. We've got somebody who's going to be over publications. We've got somebody who's going to be over media management. We've got somebody who's going to be over project management and strategy of project management, as well as somebody who's over community support, and then the director of operations here, Michael. And so some of these people, because of the work that they're in their current jobs, we're not going to dox everybody that's on this list. And I think that just goes back to, you know, in their private sector jobs, they just aren't able to dox themselves, and we're going to respect that. But we definitely are excited, regardless of that, to have these people on. And then, you know, each one of them has a group of 1 to 2 people that's working with them minimum in those roles. So just to break that down a little bit further, Michael, I think it helps the community to understand what kind of roles we've got and what their main focus is. I think it's helpful to have that. But yeah, I just wanted to go through that a little bit more.
Absolutely. And then I think, well, we can get into the next question that I think is probably one that a lot of people actually came in here watching this update for. And we'll hold it for the end here because it's kind of a big one. And that's the airdrop. The snapshots have been taken, correct?
Yep. Snapshots have been
talk
taken.
about that. So when was the first one? When was the second one?
Oof, I don't remember.
When,
I don't want to say when the first one was. I don't recall the
it's
exact.
like around the 27th or 28th.
2 weeks ago, 27th, 28th, something like that is when we did that one. The second one was done yesterday. The
so there you have it, folks.
Yep. So the two we'll do what we call a diff. So essentially they're comma separated files. We will take them into some software and do what's called a diff on them, where we can we'll order them and we'll match them by address, and then we'll get the difference between the corresponding values of the wallet sizes. Okay. And then once we have a list of the wallets that did not decrease size, we will take that and match it up against the 18% that we've held aside on the BSC side. And then we'll break that out pro rata. So just that in itself is going to take a couple days, because again, we don't want to make any mistakes on this again, because once we do the airdrops, there's no way to come back out of it. So aside from that, once we get that process done and we've verified, probably at least done a double check, triple check on it to make sure we're getting the same results each time. What we'll go into then is the process of breaking down. We've got 7,500 holders roughly. So the next step will be taking the 7,500 holders. We're going to start in reverse order, smallest wallets to biggest wallets. And we're going to have to do them in 100 to 200 chunk groups of sends. And the reason for that, it's multifaceted, but some of the main reasons are transaction times. Everybody's aware of how long transactions could take on the Ethereum network. So sending thousands and thousands of transactions back to back, the way these softwares work, they don't like to do that. So we try to do it hundreds at a time. They can take 3 to 5 minutes per transaction. We need to make sure that all the transactions go through, that we have a smaller subset that we're handling. So that will be the process. And that could take us, we're not even going to put timelines on it, because, that could take us a while to do. I'm just going to leave it at that. I think a while is a very,
it's going to take a little while.
Kind of a subjective term. So yeah, it's kind of a subjective
make sure
term.
That they don't have any errors. So
yeah, and that we make sure that all of them are getting out. We don't want to, have something left over and then trying to figure out who didn't get their airdrop. So
put it all back together and have extra, some extra screws from that IKEA thing that you put together, and you're like, So, but we had, and one thing about the airdrop people had big questions about was their wallet. If you don't have a BSC compatible wallet, like just Coinbase, you're going to need to
remember,
wallet.
A wallet is on the chain.
Exactly.
So when we
they
say
just have
wallet,
to have one that can view the address.
Well, no, you're talking about a viewer. You're talking about a wallet viewer. Right. So remember, your wallet is on chain. So if you have an ERC address, you have a BRC address. So if you have an ERC wallet, you have a BSC wallet, period. No other questions. Doesn't matter if you look at it through Coinbase. It doesn't matter if you look at it through Trust Wallet. It doesn't matter. If you have an ERC address, you have a BSC address. So everybody will get the airdrop who qualifies for the airdrop. You don't have to have your tokens in any specific wallet viewer. So even though you may not be able to see your tokens in Coinbase, they are on chain. And the way you would see them, I think we have an article on that too, either on the support. It's on the support portal, Michael?
I believe so. Yeah, it's on the
We can probably
portal.
Put that in a link on this video after we're done.
Yep.
But essentially what you would do is you would take your Coinbase passphrase and you would import your wallet into another viewer. So your wallet, again, is not Coinbase. Coinbase is not your wallet. Coinbase is a wallet viewer. Yep. Trust is a wallet viewer. Rainbow Wallet, wallet viewer. MetaMask, wallet viewer. Your wallet is on the chain, and your address are the keys to your wallet, right? So you're going to take your passphrase, you're going to import that into another wallet viewer like Trust Wallet that allows you to see both sides of that ERC BEP address. And you're going to view your wallet through a different wallet viewer that allows you to see both of those chains. That's all you have to do. You don't have to send. You don't have it's a feeless process. Just takes a little bit of time, a few minutes maximum. So essentially, just to recap that process, when we send your BSC tokens, you're going to get those BSC tokens delivered to the exact same ERC address that you hold your ERC tokens on. That address has a BSC representation and an ERC representation. The same address has a representation on both chains, the exact same address. So when we drop to your ERC, when we drop to your ERC wallet, that's actually a BSC coin. It's going to go into the BSC side of the chain. They're two different chains, but the same address. Then you're going to take that wallet passphrase and import it into my personal preferences Trust Wallet. You're going to import that into Trust Wallet, your passphrase, and then all of a sudden you'll be able to view the same wallet on Coinbase, MetaMask, Trust Wallet, whatever wallet viewer you have. You'll be able to view the exact same wallet, and you'll be able to make transactions from the exact same wallet on all those wallet viewers. So there is a video or there is a support ticket or support article that we've written that outlines this process. So we'll put that into our notes here. But it's pretty simple, guys. Don't think of it as a super complex process because it's extremely simple. And I think we even made a video, didn't we, Michael? Didn't
as far as we've made a bunch of videos.
I think the setting up of you're right. We have made it, but
yeah, setting up MetaMask. Well, it'll all be outlined in the article about
I think so.
The recap of the airdrops and this and that, and then I know that like MetaMask requires that you add the BSC chain to the network. A
little more complex.
That one's
that's why
slightly,
I prefer
but we'll include that. We'll include that link that shows people how to go and do that.
Exactly.
It was pretty simple. I have MetaMask Trust Wallet as well, so it was pretty easy to actually add that BSC chain to the MetaMask wallet.
It's very easy. It's a few steps, maximum a few minutes to do all this. Maximum.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's it.
That's our update. Yeah, that's our update. So we appreciate everybody coming on. Make sure you share this out there. There's a lot of good news in here. Not hinting at anything we're not going to be delivering on this week. So that's, I think, the best news is that there's no hints in here. It's all real deliverable material. We love everybody in the community, and we're looking forward, very much looking forward to these next few weeks and all of this good stuff that's going to be dropping in the laps of everybody. So very excited about that. Want to thank everybody for being here. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Stephen, for working in the background on this one for us. We've got a team of guys. I think you guys will see that this video went significantly better than the last two, and that's because we've got an amazing team here that we're super proud of, that's been working tirelessly daily, and we're really, really, really thankful for everybody that's here, everybody in the community and everybody in the volunteer team. So any other final words from you, Michael?
No, that's it. What does you say? All the love and all the power?
All the love and all the power, guys. Let's make it a great week. Have a great night or a great rest of your day wherever you're at. We'll see you guys very, very soon. Thanks.